Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm going to come live to you today to talk about something that we were actually talking about in my Empowered Academy last night. And I just thought this conversation is so incredibly important for everyone to hear. So if you are here with me live, go ahead and hashtag live, drop a comment, drop a heart, drop a like, let me know that you're here. And if you are watching the replay, go ahead and hashtag replay. So for those of you who are in this position of, what the hell do I do if I'm not getting any matches? I'm not going on any dates. There's no men in my world and I'm frustrated, right? And so typically this is more for like online dating because there is such an abundance of people there. And it's something that we can obviously do from our homes. And to be honest, I think that online dating is brilliant because you get to literally like be at home and you get to pick. You get to pick what's going on. You get to meet people that you wouldn't be meeting outside regularly. And especially if you're entrepreneurial, you live a busy life, you have kids. It is honestly the path of least resistance for dating. And so a couple of my clients that are now ready to get into online dating were feeling a bit frustrated around not attracting any matches or any dates. And so I wanted to share this with you. And if you've experienced this, just drop it in the comments below. So when we are needing to match with somebody, when we're needing to have a date, or we're feeling frustrated about it, we are subconsciously putting so much pressure on that next person who's going to match with us, to have a conversation with us, to take us out on a date. We're relying on them to feel a certain way. I will only feel good if I get what I want right now. And that doesn't feel very good for the person coming in. We're putting a lot of subconscious pressure on that for them to fix something that it's not their job to fix. Right. And so when we're putting this pressure, when we're creating this resistance, when we're getting frustrated, it's like we're not able to sit in the void. And this is a big thing with codependency and anxious attachment. Those that struggle with codependency and anxious attachment, I used to struggle with both. It's really hard to sit in the void of uncertainty, not having what you want right that second. Think about if you're triggered, you need to have relief right away, or you need an answer right away, or you need something to go your way right away, because you need that certainty and you need that control. So this is a lot of what I see. And we need to really start having the mindset shift of, I'm in this for as long as it takes. And I'm going to take the proper action. I'm going to get the right support. I'm going to create a life and a love with myself that I'm so on fire about. And in the process, I know that I'm going to match or date or attract my ideal person. That's the mindset that needs to happen, because the thing is, it's like, okay, I feel really good and I feel really excited. Now I'm going to go on this dating site, and the moment I don't get a match, or I'm on it for a day and I'm excited for a day, and then when I don't get what I want for a day, then I'm like, oh my gosh, this sucks. I suck. Men suck. That's not going to work. We need to be able to exercise this muscle of holding the high frequency and high vibration, regardless of what's happening around us, because there's circumstantial power and there's personal power. Circumstantial power is, I'm happy and I feel good as long as everything goes my way. Personal power is, I am happy and I am loving of myself and I am feeling good and I am having a high frequency regardless of what's going on around me. Because think about it, when these situations happen, I always tell my clients, like, it's preparing you what you're asking for. Because in relationship, when you get in that relationship, it's not all butterflies and rainbows like fucking the movies make it seem like. You're going to get triggered. You're going to feel rejected. You're going to have two egos. You're going to have two inner childs. You're going to have all these outside things that are going to impact the relationship. And are you going to get triggered every time something doesn't go your way? Are you going to get reactive? Are you going to get discouraged? You need to be able to be, when you're in a relationship, it's like, those things are going to happen. Who are you going to be in that relationship? So if you're experiencing this now of exercising this muscle of I'm going to hold this high vibe, even when I'm not seeing what I want or not getting what I'm wanting, that's creating resilience for you that will help you in your relationship. If you're saying, I'm going to create the most epic love affair of my life, and it's not coming to fruition yet, it's because it's preparing you for what you're asking for. And so how long can I stay in these good feelings? How quickly can I pull myself out of these triggers? That's what we want to start asking ourselves, because it's easy to feel good when things are going our way. But who are we when we're in the void? Who are we when we're triggered or when we're not getting what we want when we want? That's the thing we have to ask ourselves. And that's a lot of what I see, like when my clients are like, yeah, I love myself, I feel good. Or women that I'm talking to, yeah, I love myself, I feel good. And then when something doesn't go their way, they're like, you're a fucking idiot, I hate myself, you're stupid, I can't believe you did that. That's not self-love, that's not unconditional. And so we really need to focus on this relationship with ourselves and holding this high frequency for periods of time, and strengthening that muscle and strengthening that muscle and strengthening that muscle. It's something that you're going to be building over time, and you're creating resilience, and you're actually training your mind and your body and your subconscious to hold that level and have that be a new level for you. Because the more that you feel something, the more these neural pathways in your brain are going to change to make you feel more of that way. And then it becomes a way of being, instead of like, oh, I'm high up here and then something didn't go my way and I'm down here. I'm high up here because something's going my way and then I'm down here. And then when you're getting a match, you feel so good and then it didn't go the way you wanted, and so it's down here, right? And so you're putting all your power into somebody else. You're putting all your power into something else. So we need to strengthen that personal power. How long can I hold this high vibe? This vibe of unconditional love, excitement, gratitude, empowerment. How long can I hold that regardless of what's going on around me? And a lot of the times too, it's like when we're not attracting the things that we want in our life, it can be because we're scared of being seen. We're scared of heartbreak. We're scared of getting rejected. And so we're self-sabotaging. And so it's like you're saying, yes, I want this date, I want this relationship, I want this thing. But subconsciously you're like, don't you fucking put that near me, because it will hurt. We have to be willing to get hurt. If you want epic love, you're going to have to be willing to get hurt. The only way that you can have these high vibration emotions of joy, bliss, pleasure, empowerment, excessive amounts of gratitude, is we have to be able to feel the lower vibrational feelings fully and allow ourselves to do that. Otherwise, we're going to be living in a state of just constantly neutral and numb, and that's not going to get you what you want. Okay, so we have to be willing to get hurt. We have to be willing to get rejected, because rejection is really just redirection. One of my clients asked me last night, or she said that when she's been unmatched on a dating app, it's like, that's a whole new level of rejection. And I was like, everything only has the meaning that we give it. So if you view somebody unmatching you as rejection, that's exactly what it's going to be for you. But for myself, if I was still in the online dating world, I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. That means that when this person unmatches me, that automatically means that somebody new is going to match me that's a better fit. And it's hard to start thinking like that at first. It is hard. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you like, yeah, it's just easy. Just change your mindset. It is consistent work to change your mindset, because our egos are constantly trying to protect us by preparing us for the worst possible scenario. And it's like, if I create all these catastrophic scenarios, then I'm going to protect you and you won't be as disappointed. You're traumatizing yourself. You're going to be disappointed with the outcome anyway. You're disappointed both ways. So we have to be okay with disappointment and feeling disappointed, and we have to embrace that. And when we're able to embrace disappointment and accept it and love it for what it is and love ourselves in our disappointment, then we'll put ourselves out there. We're going to be willing to be seen and say, yes, there is a possibility that I'm going to get my heart broken, but there's also a possibility that this person could be the absolute love of my life. And I'm so excited. How scary does that feel? That could feel really scary for you, right? And if it does feel scary, put it in the comments. Let me know. Like, oh my gosh, I could get my heart broken, or this could be the best thing that I've ever had in my life. Sometimes we're scared of having the thing that we want. Instead of not having it, we're scared of actually having it, because if we have it, then there's a potential that we're going to lose it, or that it'll be taken from us, right? And so it's like, I'm just going to keep one little foot out, one little toe out, just in case. I'm not going to go all in, just in case it doesn't work out. When I attracted my now partner, after experiencing heartbreak in October, I was like, I'm willing to get my heart broken. Like, fuck it. I've already gone through the worst that I could go through. The humiliation, the shame, the sadness, the betrayal, the grief. I've already done it. And guess what? Yes, it was painful as hell. It was honestly like, it was so incredibly painful, but it wasn't as bad as it wasn't that bad. When, you know, as you think it is, you think it's going to completely destroy you. And it did for a moment, but I rose from the ashes, and you have that opportunity to rise from the ashes every time something hurtful happens. But the thing is, the first time that you experienced rejection and abandonment, you were a child and you didn't have any tools, you didn't have any control, you're not the same person as you were back then. So we're walking around as these wounded little inner childs, these wounded little children, thinking that we actually are trapped and we can't get help, and it's going to hurt as bad as it did the first time we got hurt. But you have a choice now. You have tools, free tools, paid tools, support, programs you can get in, like my Clients at Empowered Academy. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. It took me 7 years to manifest my last partner. It took me less than 5 months to manifest my now partner. You collapse time when you're willing to get your heart broken. And also, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but every time you do match with somebody online, you want to amplify these feelings. Like, thank you so much. I'm so excited to see what comes from this. Like, that's what you're saying in your mind. Like, thank you for this match. I'm so excited to see what comes from this. Every conversation you have, same thing. Thank you. I'm so excited to see what comes from this. Again, in your mind, not to the person. And every failed conversation, you're saying, thank you for teaching me more about myself and making room for someone who's a better fit, right? We have to start creating a life that we are on fucking fire about in the meantime. Because we're putting so much pressure on the potential relationship, on the potential date, on the potential this, on the potential that. If you are adoring yourself, if you are cherishing yourself, if you are making yourself your own muse, which is what I talked about in my my High Value Woman workshop, making yourself your own muse, cherishing yourself deeply, loving yourself deeply, creating a life that you're on fire about, doing things that you've never done before, getting outside your comfort zone. You're raising that vibration, and you're not putting as much pressure for this person to come in and rescue you on a dating app. We need to get really okay with that. We're not just waiting around. Like, if you knew you were never going to have a partner again in your life, what would you do with your time? You would take yourself out on dates. You would go travel. You would do things that you've never done before. You wouldn't wait for a partner to fill this for you because it wasn't coming. So this is what we have to start doing, because if you are unhappy with who you are, you don't think you're a great catch, you don't think you're good enough, you're scared to get naked in front of somebody because you don't like your body, yet you're saying you want a relationship, those two energies do not align. And so this is where we do the internal work of cherishing ourselves, getting comfortable with our bodies, treating our bodies with love and respect. If you feel like you are unhappy with your body and you don't want to get naked in front of somebody, but you're scared to attract a date, but you want to attract a date, but you don't have any clothes that fit you well, you don't feel good in your own skin, that just doesn't make sense. So while you're trying to get these dates, you're saying, I'm open to this. And in the meantime, I am going to create this relationship with myself. I'm going to do things that make me feel good. I'm going to buy clothes that make me feel good. I'm going to cherish my body. I'm going to feed myself well. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to start doing more sports and hobbies. And then your energy consistently raises. Your energy raises when you're in those moments, when you're feeling good and having fun. And if you're feeling good and having fun, then you're energetically opening yourself to new connections. And then if you're getting on the dating apps with that kind of energy where you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so good. I want to share this feeling with somebody. I'm so excited who I'm going to meet right now. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to start attracting better. And so the seeds that you're planting now are going to be what you reap in a week, next month, 3 months from now. So if you're feeling really good and you're not seeing the results quite yet, again, this is where we're strengthening that muscle. And it's like, okay, I'm planting the seeds. I feel really good. I'm calling somebody in. I'm loving my body today. I am cherishing myself today. I just had the best meal of my life. I just made this romantic dinner for myself and I lit candles and it felt so good to be in my own company. I am such an amazing catch. But then the next day you're like, I didn't get a date yet. I didn't get anyone that matched me. The person that I had a conversation with went away. You're canceling that out. How long can you hold it and know that you are planting the seeds for next month, for 3 months from now? You might not always see the return on your energetics right this second. Sometimes it takes a little bit. So who are we going to be in that void? Are we going to have personal power where no matter what's going on in our outside world, I love me and I feel good about me? Or is it going to be circumstantial power? As long as I'm getting matches, as long as I'm getting dates, as long as I have a man's attention, that's when I'll feel good. And when I don't, then I'm not going to feel good. And it's going to depend on everything else around me. It all starts with us. Every relationship that we have is an extension of the relationship that we have with ourselves. So if you're not getting any matches or dates, we have to look at, am I hiding? If I am trying to call somebody in and this is my ideal partner, am I what they would be looking for? That's what we have to ask ourselves too, is like, who does my ideal partner want? And then you calibrate to that. Do they want somebody who's reactive, who won't speak up for themselves, who shut down at the first sign of conflict, that are blaming and mothering, or they're not showing their true personality? If they wouldn't want that, how can you energetically align to them if that's how you feel inside? So I'm creating the most epic love affair of my life. And in the meantime, I'm becoming the type of person that can be a match for that. Is this resonating? Do you feel like this applies to you? Do you feel like this is helpful for you? Because this is what I've done in my life. This is what I've seen my clients do, where they're creating a life that they are on fucking fire about. They're creating a relationship with themselves that they're on fucking fire about. And then when they bring that into an online dating space, or they bring that to a date, it magnetizes the person to them. They're like, oh my gosh, I want more of this person's energy. If you're frustrated and annoyed about this lack of dates, what are you communicating to the universe? More lack and frustration, more lack and frustration. So if we want more, Be grateful for what we have now. Calibrate our energy to what we're seeking. Surrender, get off the subject, feel good, have fun, and know that the seeds that you're planting today are going to matter a week, 6 weeks, 3 months. It matters. You know, when you've thought about something in the past and it was just like a very like quick thought, and then a month later or 3 months later or something, or a timeline later, and like the thing that you thought about actually happened, and you didn't give it a lot of time, energy, or any resistance, because it was just like a passing thought, and you were like, holy shit, I thought about that, 2 months ago, and now it's happening. That was a seed that you planted, that you surrendered and let go of and had no resistance to or limiting beliefs about. So you've done it. I know you've done it. So let's recreate that. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to match with somebody amazing. I'm so excited to see where this takes me. This is what we need to start creating in our lives. And that way, when you get into a relationship, you don't just abandon yourself, rush the relationship, and then only for it to break down 3 months later. Everything that you're doing now is setting a foundation for what you're calling in. And if you're, relying on a person or a match or a conversation to dictate how you feel in relationship, you're going to do the same thing. And then you're going to have a shitty relationship. And so the universe is protecting you from that, because you said you didn't want any more bad relationships. So if there's a hang up, say thank you. It's teaching you something. If there is a hang up, say thank you. If something's delayed, say thank you, because it's teaching you something. So this was really on my heart today. I hope this was helpful for you. I love you all so much. Let me know if you have questions about this, and I will see you all soon. Bye, everyone.